Already I must be there.
Yes, I can see you. You're live.
Yeah. Background is fine.
Yes, can you move the camera? Okay, actually, it's fine. If you want, you can move the camera a little bit to the right hand side, but otherwise, it's fine.
Here was okay.
Yes, right.
Yeah. Manu, can you hear me? I'm just testing Manu. Can you write? Can you hear me? Yeah, Manu, can you write? Ready? Binaji, can you hear me? Yeah, Dalip here. Binaji, can you hear me? Can you write? Papni, can you hear me? Papni side, can you hear me? Yes. Okay. So another 1 minute. Can I start? President Mr. Saigal is there. Mr. Saigal, can I start? President Sarabjit Singh is there. Can I start? Okay, Papni ji is saying wait few minutes. Okay, till we start, let me. I am seeing Manu already come in. I am seeing Dina Horaji coming in. They're there. I am seeing Papani Seth already there. So, in fact, this is the first time I am with you on a digital uh, space. And otherwise, we are together, and it's always pleasure to be with all of you, my friends of 16, 17 years. And, times are tough, but in tough times, we need to keep our positivity alive and make sure that we stay safe, we stay strong, and we stay healthy, we stay smart, and we are certainly going to come out of what's going on. But that's what life has changed. Certain great learning of life. So looking at what's going on, but I'm sure that these days will also not be there. I'm sure that we will certainly have much better days, much better days. And these days, India is absolutely into a complete lockdown, a very strong lockdown, and the way the Prime Minister Modi has done, it's absolutely very very strong lockdown, unbelievable. But that was the need of the hour. Very tough, difficult, proactive decisions. It's not easy for a country like India to take such decisions. That's how it goes. So I think another 1 minute we can still wait for some more people to come in. It's already 6:34, and maybe at 6:35 we can start off. That should be fine. And let's see how the world is going to be different. Entire human race is going to be different. People are going to be, work differently, live differently. There's going to be a lot of change of habits of people. I see a lot of people turning into vegetarians. And Prantham Sri Narula must be happy as vegetarian club president of Thailand, seeing that a lot of people getting into vegan and vegetarian. And that's how things are going to be. Even workplaces will change, capabilities will change, entire concept of living life will change because the way it's impacted us, it's too tough. So I think I go ahead. President Saab, are you there? You can give me a go ahead, or Nikita, give me a go ahead. Uh, can I start? Because we should not wait now. Sarabjit ji, can I start? Yes. First of all, I would like to thank President of India Thai Chamber of Commerce, Kun Ravi Saigal, and President of Indian Association in Thailand, Kun Sarabjit Singh, who invited me to have a talk with Thai Indian business community this evening. I have been myself the director of these two organizations 4 years at each place, and it's really an honor for me to be here today. I'm not going to give a gyan here to people who already run great industry and are the masters of their own businesses, but surely I have some thoughts which I would like to share. Ladies and gentlemen, Sawadikap, Namaste, Sat Sri Akar, Salam Alaikum, good evening. First of all, let me take this opportunity to share that presently in COVID-19 has made world to change, wishing from a handshake to namaste. and Savadikap. We Indians and Thai know very well that Namaste and Savadikap is divinity in me saluting the divinity in you, and divinity in you saluting the divinity in me. Feeling really proud that entire world is respecting our way of wishing and following us religiously. I wish this continues in the world as part of happiness and pride for our great traditional outlook of wishing. Namaste, Sat Satyakar, and Savadikap. Now, COVID 19. Oh my God. What has happened? We don't know who will survive. We don't know which company will survive. In the midst of all this, we should have some do's and some don'ts. Every 5, 6 years, we have seen globally, we have seen some of the slowdowns coming in. Most of the slowdowns have been with different reasons. Merrill Lynch, Lehman Brothers in 2008. I would say we never imagined in our lifetime this kind of COVID 19 will hit us and hit us so hard. I hope we will never see this time again. But I do caution that there could be more tougher things coming in future days. I don't want to spend time on COVID 19 and its impact. We all know about it. We all have been watching television day in and day out and see the disaster of the world, starting from Wuhan to Italy to France to UK to USA, and of course to Asia Pacific, Singapore, Thailand, India, Malaysia, everywhere. The biggest learning of this COVID impacting slowdown is to manage the present and motivate the future. That means we need to conserve the cash, the bahts, the dollars, the rupees. And to manage the present, we need to take action. How? Manage costs, reduce fat, inventory management, borrowing, etc., not weakening the muscle of our business model and ourselves, of course. We need to be really strong. And here I'm cautioning not to cut capex because we will have major issues when good times and things return. We will have no products and capacities. And not to simply lay off people, not at all, that too the talent. Rather, how to become lean and trim, how to work with less resources, a real fit to strengthen this smart approach. Specific, measurable, achievable, result oriented, and time bound. And in this, now more important, when I am talking about fight to win COVID, fight to win Corona, revitalize business, I am here certainly talking about one of the most important aspects, that is leadership, the business leadership. Not only the promoters of the business, even the people who are leading businesses under the promoters. And I'm talking here this important aspect because we are seeing leaders make a difference to entire business, communities, and countries. How to motivate our people, keep them engaged in future of hopelessness, inspiring them. They are real friends of our industry. It's well said, a friend in need is a friend indeed. They also need industry, and industry also needs them. In present crisis, we can see leaders taking decisions. I don't wish to name, but there are leaders who have really taken tough and instant decisions to save countries and communities from COVID impact to an extent. And there are leaders in the present situation, I don't want to name, who have not been able to create that kind of a leadership with people at various states and governor levels. And you have seen how the spread of COVID has been there. So, here, in terms of business leadership, also, it is the leadership at the top which will certainly be one of the most important factors to revitalize business. I'm not talking about Prime Minister Modi taking a decision and making it so tough for people, but at the same time saving the lives of the people. There are countries where they look for business first, and there are countries and there are leaders who are looking for people first, people first, people first. I have been a promoter of people first concept as the key values of life. Even when I joined one of the companies, when I was creating the value system, I said people first. Some of the people laughed at me, but then people first. And today, driving is people. So the leadership has to decide whether it is business first or people first. In the present crisis, in the present scenario, in the present shambles, in the present disaster, leadership has to ensure people first. Of course, that doesn't mean that we need to leave the impact, we need to impact of business, we need to be very conscious about our business. But when there are no people, there's no business. Then I am going to talk about team building, change management, building relationships, customers, stakeholders, employees, vendors, suppliers. All of us to build a relationship of friendship. As even they are suffering, even our customer is suffering, even my vendor is suffering, even our distributor is suffering. So really, friend in need is going to be friend indeed. Can we build, that's what I say, can we build some stories of this crisis? This would be a ready reckoner for our future leadership. I was talking to yesterday Amitians in India, UK, USA, Germany, Singapore, entire Amity institutions on 7As, and I really talked to these future leaders that you need to pick up some of the bright stories of the present crisis and learn out of those stories, because you don't know. There's going to be much more tougher days to come. Use these stories. So my talk would be on a couple of steps. One, survival. That is the present phase. Motivation of organizational leadership, emotional stability of the team, people first, out of box thinking, rather create new JANB, just box of thinking to revitalize business models. That is step one, survival. Second step, I will talk about rebuilding. The proof of concept, building a roadmap for fit to foster business equilibrium. Pilot, prioritize, and polish. Pilot, prioritize, and polish to scale up new ideas of business pattern and processes, because things will change. Automation, standardization of existing processes, make them simply and elegantly efficient. Startup culture in re-establishing organization, reapproach your strategic thinking cap, and merger and acquisition, human source evaluation, and drive in most difficult era of unknown world of happening. I don't know what's going to be the world tomorrow. And the third step is going to be post-rebuild, assimilation of new normal, new norms, new dimensions to fit to the rest of the sustainability. Merger and acquisitions, HR processes, capturing the heart and soul of people as everyone has been affected and affected. training, learning and development, the futuristic, the next orbit organization and its leadership, and continuously keep control of future mishaps, continuously keep control of future mishaps like this or more, and make quality assurance measures, quality assurance measures for business continuity as one of the key business processes in the business plan. Quality assurance measures for business continuity as one of the key business processes in the business plan. Like we have a business plan, in business plan we need to really talk about the business continuity as one of the key business process in the business plan. So let me take the step one, survival. Where are we now? This is the phase we are in, the mode of survival. This is the step where we are now. Before this step, we were in a phase of thinking that things are not improving. Globally, things are volatile. At one stage, we had thought there is something going to be catching us by neck, and it got catched by COVID-19. No one ever thought that we would be in such a situation. This is that's survival. This is where we are right now, looking at safety, health of ourselves, our own individual bodies, our family, our relatives, our employees. In this step of survival, countries such as Thailand, India, Singapore, and many more have managed it very effectively and very differently as compared to Italy, UK, France, Iran, and of course, USA, because they did not take steps proactively to mitigate the risk. If we look at Iran, France, Italy, UK after China, woman, they got caught instantly. But then when we look at us in Asia Pacific, we are little different. That way, when we look at US and the neighborhood of Canada, probably was more cautious to take immediate steps and could still be smaller graph of deaths and the cases. So this present step, which I call as survival, it is certainly the most toughest for all of us. First few days or a week was so painful for everyone, including the government itself. But surely and certainly, governments came into action after declaring lockdowns and announcing various measures to mitigate the risk. There are, again, I am repeating, there are two kinds of thoughts. Focus on economy, cannot afford 500% lockdown, and focus on people. That means if we do not survive, there will be no economy. People's lives are most important to save as against deadly virus, where there is no remedy at this point of time. As you know, everybody is struggling around the world. Vaccine has come in hand till now. So let's leave government at this stage. And let's talk about business owners, business leaders who are responsible for their businesses, who are responsible for their businesses' growth and fall. What they need to do is, in this present survival time, number one priority, health and safety of employees, top priority. Safety of people in the country is most important and crucial. Biggest concern is whatever you are in any business, you need to look at your cash flow. The biggest issue. I am facing a cash flow, the biggest issue right now. Dealers, distributors, hotels, tourism, manufacturing, vendors, employee morale, their jobs, their income, their careers. Any company, some companies paying full salary, some are asking people to go, some are asking people to take 50% salary. What levels of companies are paying full salaries? Smaller companies who cannot pay full salaries, it might be tough, as cash flow would be one of the major issues. We need to use this time when we are into this present situation. To prepare and plan beyond this. This is the time for the leadership to sit together. Of course, digitally, you have seen Zoom is becoming a powerful weapon. So many talks of the world. I am doing so many programs for top leadership of various companies. 20 people staying at 20 locations these days. So it is possible that the business leaders, the promoters of business, along with their key leaders, 10, 15, 20, have to prepare and plan beyond this survival. It's our battle. We have to fight it out. We have to win it. Our leadership has great time which they have in hand so far as this disruption is concerned. Let's sit down, take stock of what has happened, what needs to be done. There should be discussions, deliberations, how we need organization, people, and processes to go beyond once we are getting to this step two. Because in this survival step, when we are staying at home, when we are not operating our businesses, restaurants, clubs, hotels, tourism, manufacturing, retail outlets, let all the business leaders try to take a stock of what has gone wrong and how do we take next steps. How do we survive out of this madness? How do we survive out of this critical juncture? How do we post opening up in next 3 months, make a plan for next 3 months, next 6 months, and next 9 months? Please don't think that's going to go away. It's going to be an impact for next 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months, and even for a year. You don't know what's going to be there. So survival is an opportunity for business leaders to think. Don't get stressed. Get up early morning and talk to your people regularly and be in touch with them, and let's talk about business. We don't stop talking about business. I get ready every day in the morning as per my timing, 5 o'clock, and I do my own pranayams, and I am ready to work on. And I work with my teams. I work with my clients every day. First 1 week was very tough. I started literally crying what's going to be happening to me. The family is in Canada, kids are in Canada. How do I survive? I might die and my children may not even know about it. But immediately after 1 week, I used this step of survival. And I am helping a lot of organization leadership teams today. Tomorrow and day after, I am with a German company, 70 minutes morning, 70 minutes afternoon, day after 70 minutes morning, 70 minutes afternoon, 4 sessions of 70 minutes on roadmap, ROADMAP, regenerating yourself, and talking about optimizing resources and people. So what I am sharing here is, business leaders, please look at this survival time as an opportunity which we never got in life. We have been always busy in our life. We had no time. This mobile phones, traveling in and out, and meetings and meetings and meetings and meetings. We had no time for ourselves, even not for our health. Time to take care of your health. Eat well and start discussing what needs to be done. Now, step 2. Now, if we move to this step 2, when we are talking about rebuilding, rather I will call it rebooting. The biggest task would be tough to rebuild. When we shut down our plants, we set our power off and we go home. Down completely. The disaster of COVID has come. But now, when we are going to be there to rebuild, the rhythm has to start. That rhythm will be missing. The employees will be in a bad state of mind. That is the reason during this period, when you sit with the leadership team in the survival, You need to keep rebuilding their motivation and inspiration and give them the steps of how do we reopen and reboot. There will be broken links, the workforce, the work processes, and the products. Every aspect needs to be rebuilt. The inventory supply chain process needs to be rebuilt. The stocks, the cash flows, all aspects have to be rebuilt. We were in lubricating machine when lockdown, before lockdown, but now there is a machine which is broken, and rebuilding the business and the processes to be the normal. It might take next 1 or 2 to 3 months to be really back to normal. Even the product development, even the supply chain network, everything is global in nature. We are all global players. This is tough as whole world has to start. It's not only Thailand or India gets started and world gets started. We might start when other countries would still be struggling and they may still be in the step number one in survival. How can this get connected? Even if we start rebuilding and rebooting our businesses, it's tough. There will be no pipe getting connected with the global market. Let's even see the tourism and the travel and the hotel trade, especially for Thailand. It's tough to see where traffic will come back to Thailand so soon. It might take another 3 to 4 to 6 months time to really get tourism industry moving. There are disasters of the airlines industry already happening. Even to get groups to have dinners and parties and marriages is going to be tough because of the social distances. There are going to be comments for even marriages or parties or get-togethers or anything. Even today, when in Thailand, now the barber shops have been allowed to open because we need haircut, but not beyond 5 people at a barber shop. So when we will look at rebuilding and rebooting the industries, the factories, the offices, the restaurants, the hotels, everything, the retail outlets, the malls, the shops will have new norms because of social distancing. And this new norm may remain for 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, we don't know. But there will be new norms. We'll have to set new norms of rebooting and rebuilding. Even the factory, when the people are working, how it's going to be happening. Even the meeting cultures of sitting together, probably they're going to be. You are seeing various, the Prime Minister Modi conducting meeting with social distances. So it is going to be a big challenge. I am not putting you into fear, but the fact remains that even the travel, which was being made for various work, I used to travel 3 to 4 flights in a month from one country to other country, will get reduced to 25% of what was before COVID. To come to that level, it might take a year, keeping in view the challenges. Because the norms of various countries will change. We will have to have the insurance coverages and even the tests to be done before an arrival of the particular country. So, what will happen to come to that level? When I say it's going to be 1 year, it in the present circumstances, when we are talking about rebooting, it's going to be the beauty of technology that's going to be the biggest saver for all of us. The digital world. People will try to do meetings and conferences on Zooms and technology than going personally to various places and various countries. I was supposed to be in Ethiopia one side and in Sri Lanka. Probably that's going to be on Zoom now, those trainings. Having said that, there's a threat to our complete business cycle, which has already been destroyed. And to reboot and rebuild, it's a matter of time. No one at this stage can really be clear when that time would come in case there is no major challenges and issues coming to us. Once this COVID reduces its impact and it goes off completely once. restarting would really be tough for a restaurant, for a company, for a factory, for an office, for a retail outlet, for anything. But if we are prepared well during the present situation of strategic thinking, which I talked in step number 1, survival, we can surely be sure that we can be faster back to normal. And therefore, rebooting will become easy because we will have the action steps of creating what we need to do. We need to create thoughts become things. Thoughts become things. I always talk, thoughts become things. But thoughts will become things only with action, action, and action. So rebooting, rebuilding will require a well-defined, step-by-step approach of action. We need not to be irrational business leaders. We might cause major disasters to the industry we are in. We have to be cautious. We have to be humane. At the same time, we need to look at our business model. And when I am talking about moving from survival, preparing for going beyond survival and rebooting and rebuilding, then what do we do? Step number 3, post-rebuild. What should happen? At this point of time, we don't know what kind of things are in store. What we don't know, we don't know. Unknown, unheard, unbelievable things are coming to ourselves. How consumers' demand will change in days to come. Shared behavior will change. There would be major challenge in shared behavior at least for some time. So there will be less miles travel. People will be very cautious even before thinking of inviting somebody for a discussion for any technology transfer or anything. There would be becoming more digital, automation, and surely and certainly digital world is going to be ruling the game plan. As industry, we need to be really thinking on this, and it has to be tech oriented. Now the question is, in this lockdown, in this present phase, we never thought it's possible to work from home. That does not mean that we can make bread or butter or vehicles or wires or shampoos or soaps or detergents or PET resin or pipes at home. We would need factories to do that. Without factories, it will not work. However, having said that, there would be a lot of outsourcing possibilities which might come in mind, keep their cost low with quality parameters of highest standard and look for more people individually or groups, small groups, entrepreneurs, an opportunity to develop and manufacture products in smaller segments and then assemble at a bigger, larger plant with quality parameters. So here is an opportunity for business leaders to look at. During the survival, think about it. And when you go back into the space beyond lockdown and when the rebooting is done, I think we need to certainly look at creating small businesses, helping individuals and small groups where we can outsource and reduce our costs. You have seen in the present crisis, Gucci's and General Motors, all leading brands who have never manufactured ventilators or masks are doing that in various parts of the world. That doesn't mean that I am in the business of, say, FMCG, I cannot do ventilators. I cannot produce masks. So, can we look at an opportunity of changing to an extent, not overnight changing, but thinking about some part of our business changing to the requirements of present need or need in next 3 to 6 to 9 months' time? Ventilators, masks, dresses. That means leadership teams to rewrite, to rethink, to readjust, to re-establish the business models of various companies. It may not be that far when tourism industry does not pick up, and we might turn some hotels into small clusters of manufacturing. Some of you must be laughing what I am saying. But that's a fact of life. It might happen. It's already happening. Hotels are being right now used in turns into beds for doctors and for patients. It might be seen some hotels getting converted into wellness centers, because wellness is going to be one of the most important aspects after COVID. Some restaurants may get converted into yoga centers. Some retail outlets will start giving space for vendors of yoga, health, happiness centers. I see this possibility till really the tourism industry comes back to normal, which is the biggest hit so far as present COVID crisis is concerned. Don't take my talk as a gyan. I am not a guru of this, but I am just anticipating what can happen in a retail outlet. I'm just anticipating how we can even look at new business modeling beyond what we were doing, where we had the core capabilities of producing the product where there's going to be tough situation, lock it immediately. Therefore, future is uncertain, totally unknown. In the midst of all this, what we should do? Will we change the way we are working? Probably yes. Will we process orientation in the factory? Probably and 100% sure yes. Why can't we think for moving our product in the factories on a single piece movement? Or instead of different piece movements, and we move factories, we move these products on a single piece movement. We have done that in India with one of the companies in Bhiwadi, and we have been successful not because of COVID. I'm talking about last 1 year, we have been struggling to do that. And that company is known as Neolite. It's one of great vendors for Maruti Suzuki, and Mr. Bafna is. They have gone to the single piece. Can we get into the single piece movements in our products in the factories, irrespective of many floors of multiple pieces? I don't know. Maybe there is some thinking on these aspects of manufacturing, wherein single piece movements can reduce cost, power, manpower, and improve finally the quality of the product. We used to talk about our core products, core capability, but COVID might give us newer ways of looking at beyond core. We thought were core, which we never thought were core. When I was talking to Amitians yesterday, I was talking about adaptability and flexibility. I have changed now. In addition to adaptability and flexibility, cope ability, COPE dash ability, coping with the pressure, that kind of ability the leadership teams should have, not only flexibility and adaptability. So even what we had, the core capability, core competency of producing a product, now we need to look for something which we never thought was core. Probably can become core beyond COVID. Hence, we look for newer core business models. Can we see how we redefine our selling? Can we see how we redefine our inventory levels? The selling, the inventory levels. Can we see how we define our entire supply chain, the backbone of our business? Can we redefine rather, the value chain? Should we look for sourcing locally, reduce global sourcing? Can we develop local sourcing? Keep value chain closer to us? It will not happen overnight. We can redefine it. We can look for better industry. Why should we have 15% of our, things coming from outside the country? If we had this before COVID, why don't the leadership team take a challenge to reduce it to 5% in next 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 9 months time? Here is that Make in India of Narendra Modi, or Make in Thailand of General Prayut, the Prime Minister of Thailand. So how do we India make in Thailand make more stronger than getting it from the global world? You've already seen some of the companies probably moving out of China and getting into, some other countries. India has got capability of becoming one of the great manufacturing hubs. Thailand has the capability already, one of the most strongest manufacturing hub. And not only that, the manpower, the people, the talent available is profound. I have had an opportunity of working in Thailand for a great organization, Indorama Ventures, and on my own, working with various Thai as well as multinational companies. Thailand has got great manpower and who are talented people on the shop floors. And when we talk about Thailand 5S, I always talk in India as one of the best 5Ss. The quality circles, the quality movement, the philosophy. So how many Indian and Thai companies can think about doing Make in India, Make in Thailand, so that we reduce this 10% which we get from other parts of the world only to 5%. The challenge of leadership. Challenge of leadership is very important. To challenge your business owners need to challenge their business leaders, top 20, top 15, to come out with a plan for this. All together, we can redefine our industry functions. From suppliers to OEMs to dealers to distributors and to customers. I repeat, we can redefine the industry functions because there will be a lot of changes from suppliers to OEMs to dealers to distributors to customers. Come out with better industry norms, practices in order to become revive business beyond COVID. So therefore, we are learning last how to support the needy. We are learning the old age beliefs. You're looking at basics. Today is the survival. I get vegetable and I get milk. Hey God, I have got it. I am thankful to what was not important just few weeks back. I am thankful to God that at least I am able to cook my vegetable at home and I am having at least a glass of milk and a cup of tea, which was normal. Ramayana and Mahabharata. I am watching this Ramayana regularly and there are great lessons. And I want to share with you 30 years back when I watched Ramayana and Mahabharata, it was different. And when I am watching it now, it is a very different thinking altogether. And I every day I am writing and I am putting things on place where I will be coming out with a training model of on leadership lessons of Ramayana. First, I am going to do it, on Ramayana, and then I am going to on Mahabharata. So this basics of Ramayana, the basics of Mahabharata is actually getting into our DNA now. I have two children who live in Western world. They never thought about this kind of a thing happening in the world. And Though they are very disciplined, they follow all the rituals, but still, now there's a lot of change already in them. The millennials, they are also very cautious today. There's some supreme power. See what has happened to the world. So look at Ramayana and Mahabharata as business leaders, some of the lessons. I will certainly come out with a roadmap to success program. I have a signature program called Roadmap to Success, which globally I have run, where I will talk about lessons from Ramayana and train business leaders on this. The crisis is actually making us socially distant, but emotionally connected. I see a lot of cries. I see a lot of tears. Because there are a lot of people today in the world whose children are not around. Most of us in our age, our children are not. This is getting into the basics. We are now looking at this crisis. I personally look at this crisis as a big unifier. It's a big unifier, I can tell you. The way we all working together, the employees, the customers, the suppliers, the vendors, we are all suffering. Today is going to be now always for us, not you, not me. I. This I is going to be killed. I is going to be away. You know, in the boardrooms, in the business corporate houses, there's so much of fight between various departments. I can't do it. I. Me. I am the God. I have done it. I created this business model and I did this. I did this. Everything is going to remain here. Even if you may be a rich man today, the Prime Minister of UK got COVID. The wife of Canadian Prime Minister got COVID. So what is? There's no age, there is no race, there's no color, there's no businessman, there's no laborer. We are all same. We are born in the same way. So whether it is a customer, it's a supplier, it's a vendor, it's an employee, it's a general manager, it's a laborer, it's an associate, it's a supervisor, or it's a business owner, same. Every one of us is looking for survival. And when we are looking for survival, this crisis should give an opportunity for our organizations, for our business teams, whether small business or big business, to become united. That is the reason I said this crisis is a big unifier for all of us. And this big unifier is very important for us to understand and keep it on. The egos, the jealousy factor. Look at, I am showing this figure towards you, but there are so many figures towards me. Not you, not I. United. United, we can stand any disaster of life. The business leadership team to whom the people look, we are all looking towards the leader. We are all looking towards the Prime Minister of the country. What the Prime Minister has to say. We are all looking towards our managing director, our chairman, our business leader, our CEO. And people down the line under the leadership team are looking towards their own leaders. Correct me, it's going to be very important that in crisis, we can be a big unifier. Ladies and gentlemen, these are some of my thoughts, which I thought I will share with you because I'll be very much keen to an opportunity to respond to your questions. So before going to that, I would like to recap my talk before I take questions. I talked about step number 1, survival. Those of you who attended late, I see Sarabjit Singh, He says, I am here now. I see Naresh, Rohila, I am here now. I see Anu Bhatia coming in here now. I see Ram Prasad Verma coming here now. I see people coming late. So let me recap for those who are coming late. I shared my thoughts on step one, survival. Motivation of organization and leadership, most important key factor right now. Emotional stability of team, people first, business next. I see Bob Sajdev coming in. Out of box, rather create new, JANB, just a new box of thinking to revitalize business model. That is what I talked about, survival. And when I talk about step two, rebuilding, rebooting, proof of concept, building a roadmap for fit to foster business equilibrium. I repeat, proof of concept, building a roadmap for fit to foster business equilibrium. Then pilot, prioritize, and polish to scale up new ideas of business pattern and processes. And ideas will come through brainstorming, as I have been talking. Ashok Kumar Bhava is just joining. So ideas will come from brainstorm. We talk about Ishikawa diagram. I'm trained by Dr. Taguchi, leading guru of quality management, TCM. The Ishikawa diagram, the brainstorming, man, machine, method, money, and man, machine, method, money, and what's next one? Material. So here is an opportunity to pilot, prioritize, polish, to scale up new ideas of business pattern and the process. That's where about restaurants moving to some other business, hotels moving to some other business, for the time being to survive. In this rebuild I talked about, automation. Jai Shankar is just coming in, Vikas Kabra is just coming in, Pavan Bakshi is just coming. Automation and existing process. Make them simply and elegantly sufficient. When I said simply and elegantly sufficient and efficient, because automation and standardization will rule the. You must be already doing it at various places in your various business processes. Pavan Chetal coming in, DC Bora coming in, Dilip Patil coming in, Kiran Jain coming in. So the automation and standardization. And then I'm talking about, which I talked about, startup culture and establishing organization. Reapproach your strategic thinking cap. What can be done? Mergers and acquisitions. That's where the partnerships will happen. And human resources, human talent, and drive in most difficult era of unknown world of happening. Yes, Ruchi Sharma is coming in. So that is where I talked about rebuild. And the third step I said, next steps goes beyond rebuild. Here I've specifically talked about assimilation of new normal, new norm. New normal, new norms. I don't know what's going to be new normal. I don't know what's going to be new norm. New dimensions to fit to rest for enhancement and stability of our business model. In fact, as Manu is writing, digital world will rule. That's a fact of life. Digital world will be ruling. Along with that, how do we do the partnerships with small players? That is where the people processes capture heart and soul of people, as I said. And development, training and development, futuristic, next orbit organization. Sorry, next orbit organization. We don't know because we have got to leave our industries, our business models for our future generations. That's where I said we need to give them this particular learning as case studies. These stories should be made and shared. Continuously keep control of mishaps like this and make quality assurance. Quality control was past. We say quality assurance. I assure that this is quality product. I am saying now in the business process, let's have quality assurance for business continuity as one of the key important business process in the business plan. I used to talk to some companies 10, 15, 20 years back. People process is a business process they were not understanding. But today everybody is understanding people process is a business process. Performance management approval, appraisal process is a business process. Similarly, business continuity is a business process. Therefore, I would like to close before I go to the my Q&A by six pops. POP, power of authority. First POP, power of purity. We as business leaders, irrespective of all odds, we need to be pure in our heart towards people. Power of perseverance, which will keep us going and growing. You can see visibly some of the leaders who have the power of perseverance, perseverance, and perseverance to keep going. So I said power of purity, power of perseverance, power of partnerships. With smaller companies becoming part of your bigger, larger companies and creating a great value chain. You are helping individuals, small group, small business leaders to come together, and you are helping them also to grow along with you. That is where we need to look at power of partnership. Then comes power of promptness. Speed, 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 speed. Speed is the name of the game. We're all in the speed and we got stopped. So I am not talking speed today. In my programs, I talk about speed. I have changed my speed thinking to promptness. We had to be prompt, proactive. What's going to happen? Let's be prompt on our decision making skills. Problem solving and decision making as leaders. So, power of promptness. And of course, many of you know me. Power of positivity. That is the power. That is the built up power of positivity. I am a positive person, whatever happens to me. That was my first lecture of India SME Forum on 6th of April. Everything was happening. They were the first one to reach me. Hey, why don't you give a talk on power of positivity? You can still go to my FB page and see that talk of power of positivity. I have shared my thoughts. The last one, POP, power of Janoon, the power of becoming passionate, mad about the business model. Come what may, the COVID-19 or anything coming to our life, I am going to be mad about turning my business model into a profitable and as well as human beings. That is where we can create the six pops. Six pops is power of purity, power of perseverance, power of partnerships, power of promptness, power of positivity, and the power of passion. I have given you this six pops, which is going to be tough for you to really work on. But those people who are going to be, those people who are going to be there with that kind of an approach of business leadership will certainly do that. So we now take some questions before we close. Yes, let me look at questions. Yes, Papni Thakur is saying back to basics. Absolutely. We need to go to the basics. You have seen what has gone wrong. Ashok Mishra, mouth mask must be a daily routine usage in factory as well as office get started. Absolutely, there's going to be new norms in the factories. Every factory will have a norm. The government will issue a norm, and factories will have norms. Every office. Can I actions, please? Beena ji say, Beena Hora ji, I shall look forward to people becoming more humane, becoming more digital in all sorts of business. Yes, I think we need to have a human approach now because of the fact, in case there's no human approach, I think we need to take care of our people. Rajiv Ramchandani, we manufacture knitted products, t-shirts, etc. Get in touch with bulk business. Okay, there's an opportunity. Naresh Rola, very useful program to overcome such crisis going on. Manu Bhardwaj, haha, good marketing. Your focus is clear. I don't know what you're talking about, Manu. Please share the link of your contact. We can see what's going on. Beena ji, let's do. Ravinder Kumar Kachru, challenge is going to open great opportunities in manufacturing. The way we work, the way we think, and the way we ourselves, relook from inside. Already there are opportunities. Yes, there is going to be a lot of opportunities. As I said. Papni Thakur, Bakshi ji, you are a motivator, a visionary, sir. Question, I need question. Post your question. Hemant, how much time you see between now and rebooting Bakshi ji? Hemant Desai sir, between now and rebooting is going to be next at least 12 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks. And that is where the challenge is. You need to prepare your people now because you don't know what's going to be there. So they have to sit together, they have to talk together. You need to brainstorm now for the rebooting. Hemant Desai sir. Deepak Sajnani, the day vaccine is invented and cure is found, humans will get back to before COVID era. Oh my God. Deepak Sajnani Saab, I think lot of pain already in us. I don't think, and in case it happens, it's shameful. We are at least at the end of the day human being. I don't think. I think this impact will remain for some time. Deepak ji, be positive. Pawan Chetal, what do you think possible areas, sectors of collaboration in India and Thailand, the competency of each other? Oh, there are huge opportunities of Thailand and India collaboration. Thailand is a very strong hub. There are a lot of Indian companies strongly present in Thailand. Even smaller companies have made their bases in Thailand. The manufacturing, the power, the human power, and the power is much cheaper, and there are opportunities of setting up plants, and there are India Thai Chamber of Commerce can help in that. Deepak, Spanish flu, World War, etc. has not changed human nature. I wish we change it. We are waiting. Manu, focus will change towards safety and health. Manu is rightly saying, and I talked about it. There's going to be more focus on yoga. There's going to be more focus on health centers. There's going to be more focus on, wellness centers. There's going to be more focus on motivation. How to keep your people motivated and inspired. Yeah, yeah, Nikita.
Yes, I will send questions on your WhatsApp. I think that's easier than you scrolling through all of the comments.
Oh, okay. I can see that here. Okay, she's putting the questions here. Okay. There's one more question coming in. Dimple Oberoi. During these crises, people and government are talking to help only lower class people. Nobody talks about middle class. What will middle class do when earn every month and fulfill their requirements? Yeah, I think Dimple, you have a very important question, and it's a fact of life that there are certain steps taken for the lower level, but still there are issues, and in the middle there are major issues. When we talk about our company, and we come under MSME, and wherein I am part of the India SME Forum, and we have already taken steps with the ministry, and we are going to have a Zoom call with Mr. Gadkari, Minister, tomorrow on this middle class companies, how they can support us and help us. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of companies which will get closed. So this is an important thing. Somewhere something on GST, somewhere something on taxation, somewhere something on loans, soft loans. We have given our proposal, we have given our suggestions to the ministry here in India, and in fact, tomorrow we are supposed to be having a Zoom call with the Mr. Gadkari, the minister, and we had already a meeting with the secretary of the government for the middle level companies. Rajiv Saigal, doctor and scientists are working all day and night. My great respect and salute to doctors, nurses, scientists, police. They are the real gods, and we should all clap them and see. You can see in Italy itself, 100 doctors got killed. My God, great respect to them, sir. Good. You reminded me. I normally don't forget this, but you reminded me. Yes, great respect to doctors, sir. They are the gods. Hemant Desai. Maybe next generation will be less selfish than our than if I. Hemant Desai, sir, you're right. You can see your children; they're different already. Not with the COVID, earlier also, and with they will become different. So this new generation will be different in terms of selfishness. It's a fact. I fully agree, Hemant Desai. But even people like us who are into the age, I am a young man. I have turned to 59. I can work for next 20, 25 years in the world, and every year I add age. Every day dollar gets increased. So that is the way. So I need to work on. So I will also change. Let's not talk about the future generations. At the end of the day, please, Hemant Saab, you are the producers and directors of future generation. I am the producer and director of future generations. So we need to help them, but we need to learn from them. Manu says World War II was about weapons, now biological weapon is virus. Sir, can't help it. We can't question right now. There are many theories, there are many questions, there are many things. Let's not get into that. Let's look at ourselves. Let's look at our country. Let's look at our community. Let's look at our business model. And let's be positive. Yeah.
From my chat, otherwise it'll go on very long.
No, but then no, I need to respond to the questions. Give me 5-7 minutes.
Sending you all the.
No,
I'm
but
sending you all
no,
questions on your WhatsApp, so you
no,
don't have to read everything.
no, I'm better on this. What I am doing.
Right.
Okay. Amnish Sen Gupta, Bakshi ji, how you look the industry, manufacturing industry will modernize. Major plants were built over 15 to 20 years before. And will it be possible to change these machines overnight? Oh no, I am not saying to change it overnight. Not at all. Please don't do that mistake. I am saying, in case presently you can keep some part of your business modeling which can cater to some of the requirements which is going to be the need of her in next 3, 6, 9, 12 months time, some part. Don't change your entire business model. I am not propagating that. You have a core capability of your business. So you cannot change overnight, but look at something you can do in one part where you can earn your cash flow, where you can keep your employing. Admishi, that is the point. Change, Deepak says, change has to come inside once. Yes, it has to come from inside. Change. But challenge makes us to, and when challenge comes, we do change. When it affects me, I change. Pawan Chetal, perhaps communication was not very strong during that era. We follow positive vibes. Perhaps lessons learned is great. We have to live with social distancing. Yes, to an extent, Pawanji, we need to do that. I think there will be some norms, at least for 1 year globally, where social norms will become, social distancing will become a norm. Sutraji Saab is saying, I agree with you very much, 100%. It is not, but uh, us, automation and digital world is the norm of the future. In any case, those who were not in favor of automation and digitalization, COVID, them already. And they will go for it. Bob Sajdev, digital transformation is what needed to keep businesses sustainable and growing. The future is digitalization. Deepak Sajnani, all the VIPs who got COVID were saved, only normal people perished. I would not like to be political here, but I think governments are doing a lot of work, even for the common people. I think there's a lot of trust, and I would certainly say that we don't get into that. Ruchi Sharma, 3 Ps will be the key to win in any crisis. Yes, I said 6 POPs, Ruchi. Then Jai Shankar. What is Jai Shankar saying? That is the saddest part. What is the saddest part? Papani, those joined now can watch later. Yes, I will keep responding to the questions. The first talk which I had on, I'm still responding to questions. Okay. Ravi Saigal Saab, will the one world concept still be relevant or all the countries will go back to basics? Do you see World War III in near future? Probably not. Probably nobody has capability and capacity of going for a world war beyond COVID. Yes, one important factor which you are saying, this one world, the globalization, I think, as I said, we need to probably take control of ourselves first. It's like when we are in a flight, and in the flight, the air hostesses, when they announce and they give us the instructions for the mask. So there's a lady staying, and along with the lady, she has a child of 5 years. What does the air hostess say? Air hostess say very clearly, put on the mask first in case you have a child and do it later. Who is the child for the mom? Most important. Normally, we as parents will put the mask, the oxygen mask, first to the child. But it is said in the instructions that first save yourself and then save your even own child. So here to Mr. Ravi Sai, talking about will this one world concept be relevant or countries will go back to basics? I think it's very important for you to look at your own self first and then go to your team and then go beyond your country. I hope I have answered your question, and no R3, nobody has capability right now. Brij Gupta, Bakshiji, one thing which COVID-19 has displayed, compassion of society, giving and ensuring, meeting all needs of the needy, particularly during lockdown. Great thoughts. Congratulations. Yes, Gupta ji, I think we all that process and we are paying salaries. We are ensuring that people remain uh, in, the, in the process of rebooting and rebuilding. Nareshwar, how will be the cluster approach beneficial to come out of this disaster in the manufacturing area? I already responded to this question. When we create smaller clusters near our manufacturing base, we will have the control on the manufacturing as well as on the quality. When we create small entrepreneurs for our bigger product range with a complete control on the quality of the product, train them, educate them, I think we will produce much better product than what we were doing earlier. Okay, next one. Oh, Dinesh Agaskar. Hello, question. Work from home. How do you address most common issues like this? Dinesh, I was, your question, lack of discipline, less work, home life separation, lack of professionalism, relationship issues. Dinesh, is a fact of life. I was against work from home before COVID. My two kids were in between doing work from home at Canada. But I tell you, the way they do the work from home at Canada, we don't do it in India and Thailand, frankly speaking. They're pretty focused and they have no time. They have lunch time and they cannot talk. You cannot disturb them when we talk about the Western world working from home. We take it lightly. We are in our casuals during work from home. There is indiscipline. But I think a lot of companies and a lot of individuals I respect. I have my team who have really shown brilliant approach of working more than what they have done. Whether it's Varsha or Niti or Ruchi, they have really shown a greater aspect of doing work from home with discipline. I think with the process, we will learn. But of course, as I said, I can do it. I am into a different kind of business. But we can't manufacture our pens or our, wires and our tires, our soaps and our detergents at home. So we need to get back to the factories. So Dinesh, there will be certain better discipline in days to come. So yes, Vikrant Tonse says, "Zo, please spread the message to all." I surely agree with you at this point of time, but probably I am right now using a lot of Zoom. I have a programs lined up till 30th on Zoom only, but I think you have made a point. I respect you. Mr. Anil Ramachandani, will our economy gone land into a depression or just a recession for a while and we come back to properly soon? Hey, sir, whenever there is a disaster, the curve starts coming up. This disaster will teach us how to become more effective. This virus we all will gain this virus one day, but our immunity system will become so good that virus does not affect. We may not use a vaccine. Similarly, this disaster which is happening so far as industry is concerned, we will become more wiser. In case we don't become more wiser, we are not great leaders. So we have to become wiser, and this recession we will break, we will fight, we will rebuild our businesses. Jai Shankar, what do you think economy will be? LV or U? What does that mean? Low value or U? What do you think this economy will be? This economy will lead us to lead our human values, to value people capabilities, and the third one will be to respect the basics of life. Shankar Das, it's great business opportunity for India and Thailand. When world moves from China, what is your opinion? No political comment? Yes. Big opportunity, grab it. Let's grab it. Let's grab it. Let's grab it. There will be opportunities. Ruchi says positive for my crisis. Yes. Sunil, happy hour Bajaj. Nature is healing. Our economies will also heal. Yes, sir, you're right. But economics will not heal us on its own. Action, action, action. Thoughts become things with action. Thoughts become things. Otherwise, thoughts will remain thoughts. Mungeri lal ke sapne. But in case thoughts are with action, it will become a thing. Mayur Malik says life will change post-COVID. Will there be a fear in humans? To an extent, yes, it is still there. It will remain for some time, but with the passage of time, when we get used to it, it will go away. Kishore Ganwani, your thoughts on the airline industry right now? Right now, tough. So many people have been leaves various airline companies for next 3 months after survival. Tough, but beyond 3 months, when it will go down, it will start slowly picking up. But it will take near about another 6 months to really come back to some shape. Okay. Is there any other question? Otherwise, I will have to Ashok Kumar. In case business are removed from China, would there be great opportunity? I already talked about. Bina Hora. One style of business scenario that we will never change and bring good results is good relationship between employees and employers. Everybody should cash human talent, human talent, human talent. Global talent, global talent. You are global talent. I am global talent. Everybody is global talent. We must salute and respect talent. We are saluting doctors today, police officers, Safai Karamcharis, nurses. Similarly, whatever talent we have available in the companies, we must respect as business owners and leaders. We are all global talent. Not that my company name is Global Talent. We are global talent. Let's build. Binaji, your point is very important. We must build global talent. Yes, Sunil, happy hour Bajaj. The situation is big. Reset button. Yes, I did talk about survival, reboot, and move on. Yeah, Dilip Patil is saying which industry is most affected? Airline, tourism, hotel industry, restaurants. It will take a lot of time. That's the reason I'm saying, can we create recreation centers? Can we create yoga centers? Can we create wellness centers? Can we create some other model? Ravi Saigal ji, Bakshi ji. Okay. Is there any other? Oh, Jai Shankar. Jai Shankar, if he means it will drop, come back. Oh, we will certainly come back. Reboot, rebuild. Humans build it. Human beings are human races to their rebuild with the power of positivity. Pawan, wonderful interaction. Okay, I think I have responded to most of the questions. But in case there are any questions, you can certainly and surely ask, and I will keep on responding to the questions. Now, before I close, I want to give you a story. And it's a very important story which I would like to share. Yesterday, I shared this story with Amitians as well, and I want to share this story. There was a great hunter. He went to a jungle looking for a deer. So, along with his all stuff, he kept on looking for hunting. Many days passed. He could not get anything in hand. He literally got tired. All his food, everything, he finished. And he was tired. So much tired that he was looking for something to eat now because he had nothing eaten last Monday. He found a tree with apples. He got very excited and he took the first apple and he started eating. The beauty of life for this hunter. What a great, delicious apple. He enjoyed eating this. He got another apple, second one. He ate that also. The apple number one was highly delicious because he was hungry. He enjoyed. Apple number two was okay. Apple three, fine. Apple four and apple five, probably he left it in between. What is the reason of apple number five being he left it in between? Apple number one was that he appreciated what I have in these difficult times and he respected, he had an attitude for gratitude for this apple number one. By the time the diminishing factor came, apple number five was not important for him. We were all in the same game plan of our life just few weeks back. So whatever malls, restaurants, bars, airline, travel, trade, holidays, birthday parties, everything, we were taking it as easy. But today, this 2 kgs of milk and 1 kg of vegetable vendor coming in and giving it in your hands and you are able to cook it is apple number one. We do not, in normal circumstances, have an appreciation and respect what God has given us. We tend to take it for granted. We had taken this world for granted. And because we took world for granted, and now we are through COVID-19, today we are looking for apple number one. And earlier, we were throwing apples. We were not even taking care of our people. We were not even taking care of things what we had. We were not even using what we had. I had 30 suits. I gave away 10 suits. I kept 20. I can still give away 10. I just need 5 suits. We are not thankful to the God what he has given. But this COVID-19 is teaching us, is giving us a feeling, hey, God has given you things. Respect that. Acknowledge that. And I want in fact, that's a fact of life. There was a patient of COVID in United States, in New York, USA, who was 75-year-old, and he was in the hospital, and he used ventilator for 3 days, and he became back to normal. When he was leaving the hospital, the doctors, the nursing staff gave a big clap, oh, you are back to normal, and everything is fine with you. And the staff gave an invoice of 5,000 US dollars to this patient. And this patient, 75-year-old, got the invoice. When he got the invoice, he started crying. And doctors and staff, nursing staff and others looked at the patient, said, sir, don't worry. In case you can't pay this, no problem. You know what this patient responded? The patient responded, hey, it is not for me to be stuck paying this $5,000. I can pay this $5,000, I can afford, because 3 nights I was on this ventilator and you are charging me for 5,000. I am thinking, last 75 years, I was never on ventilator. I was on normal air. I spent 75 years of my life without a ventilator. And I never paid to God. And today, just for 3 nights, I have to pay $5,000. The doctors also started crying. What does this story teach us? This story teaches us, be grateful to what you have, be thankful to what you have, and in fact, make sure that you have gone through the process, which is, you have gone through the process, which is a fact of life, that be thankful to God, have an attitude of gratitude. So in case we keep this story in our mind, we will become different human being, human race in life. Ladies and gentlemen, let me quickly recap and try to close. I talked about the survival. Step 1. Motivation of organization, leadership, emotional stability, out of box, rather JNB, just a new box of thinking to redefine business model. Then step 2, rebuild, proof of concept, building a roadmap, pilot, prioritize and polish, and scale up new ideas of business. Automation standardization will be elegant and efficient way of looking at. Startup culture, establishing, reapproaching your strategic thinking gap, and merger and acquisition, driving into difficult, unknown world of happenings. And the third step I said was assimilation of new norms in order to fit to rest to sustainability. Merger acquisition, training and development, learning and development, futuristic organization, orbit organization, and continuously keep control. And then I said 6 POPs: power of purity, power of perseverance, power of partnership, power of promptness, power of positivity, and power of passion. And in case we keep that power of passion on, I think we can make a big difference to our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been really, I must again thank India Thai Chamber of Commerce, President Ravi Saigal and his directors, whom I know very closely, and Indian Association Thailand, Mr. Sarabjit Singh, President, Vice President Kitty Navani ji, Papni ji, and the directors for giving me an opportunity to talk to you. And before I close, since we are all proud Indians, and I would like quickly to go through this song with you, part of it. अलबेलू का मस्तानों का इस देश में यारो क्या कहना ओ, जूता है जापानी इंग्लिस्तानी फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी मेरा जूता है जापानी इंडिया एंड थाईलैंड फ्लैग टोपी रूसी फिर भी दिल है मेरा अपना ए वतन तेरे लिए दिया है जान भी देंगे ए वतन तेरे लिए पम 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 आजा 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 अनु के तले हो जय हो चक दे इंडिया चक दे इंडिया वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम वंदे मातरम मातरम तरम वंदे मातरम वंदे वंदे मातरम मेरा इंडिया I will song is big so I am cutting it मेरे संग जय हिंद हिंदुस्तानी यहाँ की रीत सदा रहने वाला हूँ भारत की बात सुनाता हूँ रंगीला देश रंगीला हमारा झंडा हाई फ्लैग एंड इंडिया फ्लैग एंड पे जहां से अच्छा हिंदोस्ता हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा हम बुलबुले हैं इसकी ये गुलसिता हमारा हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा। इसमें एक बड़ा एक स्टंजा है, मजहब नहीं सिखाता आपस में बैर रखना, मजहब नहीं सिखाता आपस में बैर रखना, हिंदी है हम वतन है हिंदोस्ता हमारा हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा। Ladies and gentlemen, we are global Indians, irrespective of caste, creed, gender, nationality, religion. We will really make a difference to people and lives of people. And the role of business leaders to be empathetic, graceful, honest, and humility. At the end, I would say, please follow the guidelines given by government of Thailand for various restrictions. Ensure that we do not deviate any law of land. Of course, Her Excellency Ambassador's message, which was given to the community, Thai Indian community, follow the rules and regulations very strongly and strategically. Do not deviate any rules and law of land. That is what is expected. At the end, I will say, Thai Naresh ki jai. Thai Naresh ki jai. Bharat Mata ki jai. Thai Desh ki jai. Vande Matram, Vande Matram, Vande Matram. Thai Naresh ki jai. To the King of Thailand. Thai Desh ki jai. Bharat Mata ki jai. Bharat Naresh, which is Narendra Modi ki jai. And Vande Matram, Vande Matram. Kapur Makla Khap, thank you so much. Please feel free to ask any questions, and I will certainly respond to every question. Thanks, Mr. Ravi Saigal and the directors of ITCC. Thanks, Sarabjit Singh and the directors of Indian Institute of Thailand. Thanks to all who could join. I could see a lot of my friends who could join. Thanks all Thai Indian and Indian community living in Thailand. My great respects who could not join can even go through this later on and raise questions. Kapur Maapne Khap, at the end, stay safe, stay strong, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay smart. SMART. Salute to you all, my friends, Thai Indian and Indian community in Thailand. Kapur Khap, I just close this session now. Thanks, Nikita, for your support, Manu for your support, Papni for your support, and of course, Ravi Saigal as well as Sarabjit Singh. Thanks a lot. I just close and end the video now.